So I'm here today with Daniel from MOBA, and they're installing a 2D system on this Kubota SVL75-3. So we're going to go through and talk about what they're installing and how it's going to work. Daniel, take it away, man.
Yeah, so we've got an Osgrade blade here, so a dual control system, and we can fit this into any brand blade. So whether it's an Osgrade or the various other brands in the market, we can definitely fit our system. So what the system compromises is two receivers, two laser receivers. These are millimeter receivers, so what they can do is you can automatically adjust your working height from the cabin. So two receivers, they're going to go down once it's wired to a junction box, and then from this junction box we're going to run some cables with the hydraulic hoses back to our breakaway box, which then runs through the system inside the cabin.
So I'm seeing more and more of these around. What are they actually primarily used for? So for example, this customer, what's he going to use
so this customer has got a poultry farm, so he's got a lot of chook sheds that he wants to re-level off. So really what he'll do, he'll come into that chook shed, set a level, and then auto mode and level that off perfectly, periodically through the year as the floor gets damaged. But guys doing factory slabs, house slabs, or really any earthworks where they want to do either flat, single grade or dual grade, a lot of guys with horse arenas, tennis courts, perfect application. The customer's really got two options to operate the blade manually. Either A, we can integrate through the 14-pin plug, which is on most skid steers, or if you haven't got a 14-pin plug, you can also go for our dual joystick. These are proportional, so what you can do is you can control the blade manually from our joystick, and that's really great. Let's say you're operating on some dirt, there's a huge pile there that you need to move, like a stockpile. You can manually control it to feather the dirt out, and then you can set the system in auto for automatic blade control.
There you go. And that just sits in your cabin somewhere?
That sits in your cab. Typically on your right-hand side, because most machines, left-hand side is for drive and steer, right-hand side's free, so then we can control this. And these are, full proportional, which is different to the buttons, which are typically just an on-off signal. So you get better control with our joystick, but it all depends what the customer wants. If he wants, it integrated through the buttons, we can do it, or our joystick.
So if that's connected, does that mean that will just control the blade box? And then
when you want to go into auto, you just flick this button, auto, and the system then will automatically
go back to the auto.
Okay. And so what this does is there's another part of the system, which is the last part, which is our control panel, and this is typically what sits in the cabin. If space is a little bit tight, we can also put that out in the attachments. Most customers do prefer it in the cab. So it is really quite nice. Easy to see. You'll see your working height if you've done an offset directly on the screen, or of course we can mount it out here if space is a little bit tight, and the customer can see everything from the cab.
Very good. And that's a waterproof system?
That's fully waterproof. These are Australian made, so all Australian made here in our Victoria office. Fully waterproof, submersible in water. We export these globally, so we've got quite a huge market. And again, it's not only that we fit it to this brand, we can set all brands of front-mounted blades. And so at the moment, we've got the cabin up. This is how we do our installs. So we're going to run some wiring down the arm, underneath the cab, inside through one of the glands. And then we're going to have our screen mounted. So it's really like an integrated solution, which is quite nice. All the different cable lengths we've got off the shelf, so we can really have it suited to the machine. Opposed to rolling some cables up and having them on display. So our breakaway box, if you want to break away the attachment from the skid steer, you can simply disconnect the cords, put the dust covers back on, and that will stay there. And that way there's no cabling that you have to unwire to detach and put your bucket back on. It's just a quick disconnect your hydraulic hoses, and you're ready to start moving some dirt again.
So you can just put your other bucket back on and continue.
Continue going.
Cool, nice system.
Okay, let's go.